Welcome back to another episode of Volvo Rescue 164 stuff. Nick's recording right now, and we are pulling the interior on Amy. We're going to start with the seats, the door panels, and then I'll do a step-by-step on the dashboard. At the end of this, you'll know how to remove window cranks, door panels, door handles, seats, real straightforward actually. Most importantly, the dash, which is not as bad as I expected it to be, but a little more difficult than I think it needs to be. So take a look around, see what we are working with now, and I'll check with you once I finish sweeping. I think that's all of it. Wow, there's a lot of wax that I left on here. Oh boy. All right, well, Nick's here to help me. And we're gonna work on interior work today. We're gonna just swap over the perfect dashboard and the perfect seats from Amy into Ivy. This is the best part. She runs. All right, perfect dashboard, perfect panels, decent seats. I got a patch for the seat, which is one of them gloves there. This will be good. We're gonna see how much mold and rust we'll find ourselves. Getting the dashboard out is not difficult. It's almost easier than the 122s, but it's not as straightforward because some of the screws, the important ones, were hiding under the rubber seal. You have to cut that seal because as I tried getting the screwdriver on, it just gets real tight and you can't do it. 7 screws, but look at that gap right there. There's a gap in the seal and a gap in the glass. And thankfully, it's not too bad. Still wet from when I was hosing it the last couple of days, but I can imagine that's gonna be a little rustier on old Amy back there. Inside of here, I wanna make sure that's all protected and sealed. I wanna paint that corner, make sure the rust is stopped. And I can't do much for the firewall blanket, but I think we should remove the blower motor so I can get back into the cowl and really flush out everything there. But it's almost simpler, yeah. And the few connections to the back of the cluster, the fuses are here. We'll see what Amy's are because they're over on the inside of the engine bay. And here we can see the backside of the cluster. Oh yeah, it was already broken, that's why. I stuck this hose in there. Keep the cluster in place because the tab, oh no, did they lose the nut? What did they lose? Oh, I see, it's this little, it's this plastic, this thing, Nick.
Yes?
This is what they lost.
What is that?
That holds the cluster in place, so we got to remove both of those on Amy. Move it to the side very carefully, and then there's your cluster. Literally simplest thing to remove, these pedals. So while we're here, I'm going to complain about these, because they're awful in design, they break, and I'm going to appreciate these, because I like that they're just straight connectors. You don't have to worry about wire nuts and all that stuff. The choke has a hinge on it here. You could just disconnect that one or this one. This was the easy one to reach, so that pulled out. And you had to remove 3 nuts on this?
Yes.
To get these out. There's the lettering for it. We'll just keep that safe. The 1 speaker, the radio ashtray. I dig it, I really do. These clips on the bottom just hold the vinyl in place and leave them on because there's no new vinyl to put in.
Feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving.
Show us the rainbow cheetah.
Check that out, rainbow cheetahs.
Let's start with the back seat. I have not ever removed these seats. I'm nervous what we're gonna find in here. Simply lift from the rear, I guess? Oh, okay. Now push the bottom that way, and we're up. Okay, there's no mice.
Dude, this is a
It's a nicely preserved.
really nice back seat.
Yeah, she's in good shape. Well, that only took 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Top seat has a tab here. Bend that open, and then you can lift that up. There will be 2 catches in the top of the seat. All right, lift up. I don't want to grab the top because it'll destroy the vinyl. Also in fair condition.
This one's got like a little drummer boy on the back of it.
Is it a coin?
Yeah, it says 1776 to 1970.
Oh yeah, it's the Centennial. I like those. They're worth something.
That's very cool.
They're worth 26 cents.
If you leave a basketball in the trunk long enough, it shrinks. But I think if we put it in water, it will change back to orange and grow to different size.
That's it for the back seat. Let's move on to the fronts. If you're looking at the front, you can see right here, there are 2 bolts on the outside of a horseshoe. There and there. Remove those. On the other side, there's 2 more. And on the other side, there's 2 more. But before all that, the bottom cushions of these seats come out real easy with 6 snaps, 4 in the back, 2 in the front. When you grab these snaps, make sure that your fingers are on both sides of them, because if you pull from one direction, you could rip the fabric, the vinyl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This seat used elastics, some sort of like vinyl material that is just dried out and stretched out, and it can be replaced with a more modern seatbelt webbing type. The other car uses wires, but I can make something work out of this. There she goes. All right, friends, we've come to the dashboard removal bit. Let's start with the simple bits. That would be removing the steering wheel. At the bottom of the wheel, 2 Phillips head screws at this angle. All right, after those 2 screws are out, wiggle, 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 and spin a little bit. Wow. All right, the back side of this horn, there is a spade terminal. Unplug it. Next step is to remove the steering wheel center nut. I've got a 28mm socket, and it feels like it's right about, yeah, you know, it's gonna be hard to strip something like this, but it's a little too big. I guess that would make it a 1 1/16 or 1 1/8. If you care about your alignment, mark your steering wheel position to the spindle. Getting loose, there it is. Nice trick.
Snap-on guy's always trying to sell me a steering wheel puller. I'm like,
Sometimes.
you're a schmuck. Watch this.
All right, coming out the back side is the plastic attachment that is attached to the wire.
For the horn?
That's for the horn. All right, I'm gonna pull all the switches out to their final position, which will give me a little bit of leveraging power. Be careful with these because the plastics get brittle. The rear defroster comes out as a long unit, so grab it from the metal portion to avoid any stress on the switch. All right, 1 screw into this wooden block. That's factory. There's the shorty. What the heck? I love this. Ew.
What?
I need a flathead. Who does that? Who owned this car?
I buy flathead screwdrivers to be a pry bar.
Who approved this repair?
That's warranty.
Bro, that wood's in pretty good shape.
That's warranty, bro.
That's California red oak. Working our way forward. The steering wheel being out really helps.
R12.
You think there's still R12 in this thing? Okay, that's not how you get this off. How do you get this off? Woo! Figured it out. Use my head. Oh boy. Ouch, why does my knee hurt?
This screw is stuck in there.
All right, the top of the air conditioning tucks into the lip if you're so lucky to have yours intact. Oh boy. Like that. Oh wow, we did it! Okay, the long end of the bracket goes toward the rear, but those cables from the compressor are going to still be in the way. The next step, what I'm gonna do is attack the half-round bolts at the base of the steering column. Yay. It's gonna be a hammer and a chisel and some vice grips. And then I'm gonna replace them with actual bolts. Ah, she spun. Cool. That's one down. That's where I'm chiseling. As a quick aside, Nick's working on the window cranks. The easiest way to get these off, it's the metal handle, the plastic spacer, and then this guy goes on the inside. Get your tool between the final metal washer and the plastic spacer, and then with a pick or something, twist it so that it hooks the clip. And then what that'll do is as you start rotating the handle around, the clip will pop out, and then you'll feel with the spring, it'll remove the handle entirely. That's the best way I found to do it. I'm sure there's other methods out there and better tools, but it's been working for us. Aretha, why aren't you spinning? Well, I tell you what, that second side's a little easier. Number 2. Cluster is doing the same thing on that side where it's falling out, you see? Oh, I guess that piece is missing here too, which is why it was in the middle.
Yeah.
Wonder if it fell out at some point and they were like, what's that go to? I don't know.
I don't know, just leave it there.
Just keep driving, I guess. All right, there's 3 harnesses behind the cluster. Well, 3 connectors, about 4 or 5 wires apiece. Now there's a bolt here on this corner of the dash, 1/2 inch. All right, so the bottom corners of the dash are released. The steering column is released. The switches are out. Let's do the radio. This is how much of the window seal needs to be cut off to get the dashboard out. It's possible to just lift it with a tool, like a screwdriver, and get access to the screws, but honestly, I'm replacing the windscreen, so I need to, and that just made it so much easier. It's real difficult otherwise to get this. And the reason why they have this is it doesn't require a plastic trim at the bottom, because the dashboard screws can now be covered by the flap in the windscreen rubber, which I don't really like very much. So, time to get the razor blade out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 7's in here, but it's all disintegrated. I'm gonna try to get this out of park again. Don't you love how there's no lock on this shifter? All right, the choke has 2 of these clips. All right, we're gonna be very careful. I'm being too careful, hang on. All right. I think this is the part where we flip the back. Let's just push that over there. We have to flip the back up. Wait. Oh, weird, this wiring harness. Okay, hold it right there. Hold it right there, because we've got wires for the turn signal somehow in the way. All right, hold it like right there. I need to disconnect the ignition switch too. The wiring, for whatever reason, goes up through the dashboard on this. Which I
To
think
the
is-
wiring harness.
Yeah, it goes through a hole in the frame of the metal there, so I just want it all out so it's not threatening to hurt anything. Why is there so much stuff on this side? I can't seem to budget. What is going on?
Here, do you want the light?
It's the wiring harness. Okay, stand by. I see 2 screws. It is. What's happening right now is our air vent is in the way, and it's
Sorry.
It's
Trying to
the
keep us
two-
from flexing.
it's the 2 screws that hold the air vent are keeping the wiring harness in place. All right.
Ready?
All right. Do you see what's going on here?
No.
The wiring is going right through this dash.
Okay.
So we need to. I need to feed these. Oh, I have to disconnect stuff? That's all kinds of dumb. Almost. Get this dash out of here. Okay, you got the cluster?
I do.
You got the dash?
I do.
Wow, you're a hero. Touch it to anything and you're dead. Paid $2,000 for this. Okay, this is the back side of the dash. The prettier end is the passenger side because the rust did not get to it very much, just started. There's the latch for the glove box, which isn't there, and the switch, which is practically brand new. Speaker gets 3 wires, or doesn't matter. The back of the radio with a bumper here for the air conditioning unit, so it props the radio up. It's got simple connections to it: ground, power, speaker, antenna, is radio. It's so funny that they just tape up the lettering for the thing. 6-254, and then it says USA on the underside of this dash. So like, I guess they were determining which, maybe the 6 series, 164. I don't know what the 2 is. And then it's the market where this car is going to end up.
The steering wheel direction too.
Oh, boy, I'm running out of steam here. No, I'm out. I'm donezo. Right here is the broken tab on it, so that's a common thing. And what that ends up doing is, you see there's the other side. Doesn't look that great. But the replacement piece was in the center console. It was nice white plastic. As far as the wiring goes, you get one connector here, one here, and then I think one there as well. It looks like a light fell out from there. We have the round piece, but we don't have the socket for it. Awful sockets. Awful sockets. It's a VDO instrument cluster made in Germany. I know that it works, and I'm going to put this gladly into Ivy. All right, here's the worst part of it. That corner, all the rust. Yeah. Let's put Ivy's dashboard up here, and we'll do a little compare and contrast. All right, there's our little pie crust dash. There's quite a difference between the two of them, but you know what? One of them's got perfect metal, the other one's got perfect plastics. So I'll just take the, I guess the metal from Ivy. Oh, look, it has a blankie on it. That's right, that's right. This has a... Oh, they both... Oh, that one's just much nicer. Okay, I think I can extract it. And this one as well. It says 4-2 USA 58. This is the earlier car. I wonder what it means. What's that, 6-2 and 4-2?
June 2nd, January, February, April 9th, 2nd.
I wonder.
The times they're made.
Oh, cool. This is going to be really tricky to try to swap the metal. No. I mean, the rust on that piece and the no rust on this piece. Sure, that's one thing. But then we're dealing with a pad that's glued to the metal surface. These are just the guiding tabs for it. But the whole thing is going to be... I think I'm better off trying to stop the rust using Osfo and then paint it. It hasn't destroyed the integrity. Osfo is going to be good. It'll stop the rust. It'll turn into a paintable primer. This is the attachment for the choke. It's just the middle, kind of where it leverages. So the 2 clips, one here and then the other one there. And you can see on the other side, I only removed the other one. Now let's go inside the car. I'll show you under the dash. All right, I gotta pull the wiper assembly, or the assembly can stay. It's actually the motor I want, because this one's gonna be much better. It looks just brand new. Here's some switches. These are the wires that went through the bottom of the dash metal. That was not okay, because I will have to look at the diagram to find out where they all go in the back of the ignition switch. The 2 screws that I drilled out go right here on the other side, opposite sides of the donut, and the rest of the firewall looks okay. On this side, how's your end?
I mean, just in like the same corner.
It's repairable, and going up the side, it's okay.
I don't know about up here.
Yeah, some of the other spots, there's a little bit of rust.
It's raining rust.
Yeah, the window rails, because they do catch all the rainwater once the door seals dry up. Well, let's just say as you roll the window down, that moves down.
The window doesn't.
The window stays there in
I
place.
think the window's rusted in place.
So we're going to continue with getting this panel out. It's weird because the fuse panel is here and stuff still goes to it.
There's no fuses.
There are no fuses here. All the fuses are on the front side of the firewall. I don't know how that's all routed. This is the bottom bolt hole for the dashboard. You see it's a large hole. There's the other side. Nick, why don't you point to that hole?
Wait, I'm sorry. This one?
Yeah.
Yes. That's
And
the
then-
bottom hole for the...
I don't remember if Ivy has a vent in the bottom, but that's really neat. Here's an inside look at the evaporator. Well, let's eat, because I think this video has reached a good stopping point. Nick, thanks for your help today, buddy.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
We did good.
Always.
We done
Always
good.
happy to help.
We huge progress today getting the interior out of 2 cars and dashboard. All right, let's button her up.